What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4. I want to talk about how Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to start development in early 2020, and this is based off of the Nomura interview that went out a couple days ago. A gaming news outlet was allowed to talk to him, kind of asked him some questions about the ending of Kingdom Hearts, about DLC, and we talked about that yesterday, about a lot of things Kingdom Hearts 3 related, and even future Kingdom Hearts related, and then all these other websites picked up on the quotes and posted them. And one of the most interesting lines, besides the fact that we are getting the paid DLC releasing before the end of 2019, which we made a video on yesterday. Check that out. We talked all about it. But we got one of the more interesting quotes of Nomura in that article. And one of the most interesting things about it was why it needed to be done before the end of 2019. Why does it need to come out this year? You know, it's not going to take you a year. It's not going to take you 2 years. We know how long these Kingdom Hearts 3 games go. And the answer was because I want the team to start work on the next project. Now, you know, that means what I think a lot of people think it means, and that means Kingdom Hearts 4 is up next. Now, there is no 100% confirmation that he's talking about Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, he works on a lot of different games. He's part of Final Fantasy, but that team is the Kingdom Hearts team. So I assume when he's talking about what their next project is going to be, it's Kingdom Hearts. Now, Tyler and I have talked a lot about this in the videos we've made of the Kingdom Hearts. We had the Kingdom Hearts community series for a long time, and you know, one of the main things we talked about, I think too, is urgency to get the next game out. And we have all these news stories of how well Kingdom Hearts 3 sold. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the fastest selling game in the franchise. It sold over 5 million copies. That number is way higher now. It's the top of the charts. It was top of NPD for the month of January. So there were and I wonder how it does in February. I wonder if it's in like the top 3 or 4 in February. And that's with a lot of games that came out in February too. So this is one of the, this is a very, very well-selling Kingdom Hearts game and a very well-selling game in general. And they even said that it sold over their expectations, just beat their expectations. So what I think, and that comes down honestly to money. When Square Enix sees that come in, when they see the money come in, and they say, well, we only expected this game to sell like 4 million, and it's going to sell like 8. That obviously does something internally. That gives Nomura, maybe they give him more money, maybe they give him more people, but they give him more power, and they say, look, this is the deal. You need to make another Kingdom Hearts game, and you need to make it quicker. And that's the caveat, is quicker. Kingdom Hearts games take forever. Now, I understand in between almost 2 decades between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 3, we got so many games, and they fleshed out the story. I get it. Were they all necessary? I mean, we can argue about that all day long. They did make a lot of Kingdom Hearts games, okay? It wasn't like we went 10 years without Kingdom Hearts games. They made, all of the handheld platform games, 358, Chain of Memories. They made so many games throughout their time. Dream Drop, the list goes on, and then they remastered them like 15 times. So they obviously can make these games. But in terms of main installments, it does take a while. At the same time, the gaming industry is moving forward, and it's moving forward fast. They cannot take another 7-8 years to make Kingdom Hearts 4. It needs to be fast. Tyler and I had talked, I think in videos, but also just him and I personally, that we believe it's going to take 4 years. That's the mark I think it's going to happen. And to be honest, with this news, with the quote that Nomura said, you got to think they're going to be starting in very early 2020. And why is that? Well, the DLC is going to take up to the time of its release to be completed. Now, that doesn't mean they can't do storyboarding. It doesn't mean they can't work out the basic idea of what Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be. Nomura probably already knows, considering Kingdom Hearts 3 is loaded with those kind of things as, a lot of hints, a lot of theories as to what Kingdom Hearts 4 will be. You don't put those in the game if you have no idea what your next game is going to be. So obviously there are ideas for what Kingdom Hearts 4 is. I'm sure he has a rough draft, but in terms of the actual script, in terms of getting everything ready, in terms of actually building up your team and starting the production of the next game, that takes time, and you can't necessarily do that when you're working on kind of a full-blown story DLC. You can't do both at the same time. They can have some people working on Kingdom Hearts 4, but what am I basically saying? Well, the DLC, like I said in yesterday's video, I think will release sometime between September and November. Normally, gaming studios take some time off around Christmas time. Not a lot of games come out at the end of December or early January. A lot of people do get their time off, a couple weeks off, and then they come back and they're ready to go. So I think, when they come back in early January, that is the time. That's when Kingdom Hearts 4 will begin full-scale production. And that's really awesome, because I think that would probably be the fastest turnaround in a Kingdom Hearts game. And is it actually the fastest? Well, they would be starting production of the next game a full year after Kingdom Hearts 3 release if they do it like that. If it comes out, if they start working on it in January, Kingdom Hearts 3 came out late January, but at the same time, at least we're getting content throughout the year. We're going to get that critical mode, we'll get some free DLC, and then we'll also get the paid, the premium, what he calls it, DLC. So we're going to get things along the way, which will slow them down. They could have started production faster, I believe, if they didn't do this, but this is at least good that we're going to get more content for a game that sold and was received insanely well. Again, more than they could ever have probably hoped and wished for. And now it's time that, you need the next game to come out relatively soon. This isn't the movie industry. You can release a movie every other year in the same franchise, and, people obviously, that's not a lot of time in between them, so people retain a lot, and people are, there's quick turnaround for that. For games, it's very, very, very difficult to do that. You can't release a game normally, in terms of a Kingdom Hearts game, you can't do that every other year. Assassin's Creed games could do it every year, Call of Duty could do it every year, but you look at the quality of what happens to Assassin's Creed when they do that. You look at the quality of Call of Duty. You also look at how big these teams are and how much money their publishers have, and it's not the same as Square Enix. It's not the same as Nomura's team. So you look at this team right here. You got to get this game out in 3 to 4 years, I believe. So I believe early 2024 to be the release date of Kingdom Hearts 4. I pray that it could be sooner, but at the same time, this takes a lot of work. You look at the game that they actually put out, and there are so many hints of a lot of depth and how long you have to imagine it took them to make it. Firstly, half the game is just cutscenes, and those do take a lot of time to animate, and obviously the recording process, but so much, the actual graphics, actually building how that looks, those take a lot of time. And then there's actually the gameplay, and there's all the mechanics, and again, there's the story, and there's all the Disney worlds, and there's all the smaller things in those worlds, all the small mechanics that each world has individually to them. It takes a lot of work, and I understand why it would have taken them 4, 5, 6, 7 years to make Kingdom Hearts 3. I can understand how it can take 4+ years to make a game like that. So I don't blame them if it takes them 4 years. Now, if we're talking 7, 8 years and there's no Kingdom Hearts game, that's almost unacceptable. In fact, it probably is unacceptable, because you need to get these games out and more at a better pace, at a more consistent pace. And it's possible that these games could get remastered for the Nintendo Switch. That's possible too. But you don't have the Nomura team working on that. You have another team porting it over and remastering it over. That's what you do. So there's really no excuse why this game shouldn't come out in 2024, with it beginning production, I believe, in early 2020. But let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about all this? What do you think about the DLC? When do you think they're going to be starting Kingdom Hearts 4? And more importantly, when do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 is actually going to release? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys are notified when all our videos go out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you on the next one.